Hello, my name is Jack Illermitz, and I am representing Battle of the Gains out in Washington, D.C. And I'm running this on Washington, D.C. Gains, the Facebook channel, and Political Gains USA YouTube channel. So tonight's video is about last night's State of the Union, President Donald Trump's first State of the Union. So I'm just here to give a couple little thoughts on it. So my first opinion of it was I thought he gave a great speech. It was a little long. It was about an hour and a half, so it was a little long, but I thought it was pretty good, filled with pretty good content, and he really tried to summon unity, but it was really hard because there was so much tension because of the shutdown, the 3-day shutdown that happened just a week or two ago over immigration. So tensions were still flaring, and it was apparent. Trump's controversies over over his first year, they kind of overshadowed the strong economic success. So that played a big part in the tension. I'm definitely excited to learn about the infrastructure plan and the immigration plan that will be coming shortly. I still think healthcare needs to be addressed. The tax plan that Trump did, it's eliminated Obama's individual mandate. So that means like if you don't pay for Obamacare, then you get fined. So he repealed that. So now no one gets fined if they don't want to buy it, which I think is a good thing. But I still think that healthcare needs to be addressed. There needs to be a continued fight on terrorism. We need stability in the Middle East, and we need stability in Asia, specifically North Korea, because that's a problem right now. The Democrats were pretty mad. They were upset with President Trump for his use of the word dreamers, where Trump said all Americans are dreamers, and that a lot of Democrats took offense to that, saying, you know exactly what the word dreamers means and who it's referring to. So they couldn't really connect the words he was saying to the person he is. Even though he's saying it, they didn't really believe it. So that was interesting. But they were excited about some bipartisan programs that are going to be going on. Immigration, most of them, the Democrats, are happy that there's going to be some work done and there's going to be some bipartisanship done, and everyone is going to compromise. A lot of Democrats are also excited about infrastructure because that is something America needs desperately. We need to rebuild our roads, bridges, and highway system. The Republicans, they enjoyed the speech. They stood up and sat down and clapped. I think it was over 100 times. So it was a little ridiculous, but it was good. They were supporting their president. They were supporting our president. Representative Bill Huizenga, a congressman that I interned for, he said, I thought there were a lot of bipartisanship calls. Trump is looking for the middle, the center right and the center left, to come together and figure out a solution. A lot of the Republicans also like the infrastructure plan. They like the proposal. They just don't know where the money's going to come from yet. So that'll be coming soon. So those are my thoughts, Republican thoughts, and Democrat thoughts. So now I'm going to briefly touch on a couple of topics that I thought were really key in his speech. So because his biggest accomplishment, Donald Trump's accomplishment, is the tax cut, he spent most of his time talking about the economy, how the economy is so stimulated right now. There's $5.5 trillion in total tax cuts, and more than $3 trillion of that is going to families. The Obamacare individual mandate has been repealed, which I touched on a little bit earlier. The tax cut reduced corporate taxes from 35% to 21%. So this means that more money is going into these corporate companies. So they're able to compete more globally, they're able to create jobs, invest in their company, and they're able to boost wages, which everyone wants. We're eliminating over-regulation. So for 2018, Trump's policy is for 1 new regulation, 3 have to be taken away. So that's just going to get rid of regulation in the economy, or just in the government as a whole. The Dow Jones has closed at a record high over 70 times, and there's more than 2 million jobs created. So that's taxes. So reform, President Trump is trying to create a comprehensive, understandable plan to reorganize government, taking out unnecessary programs, taking out unnecessary regulations. So he's starting with his cabinet secretaries, and they're reforming their departments through orders from Trump. Then next, I'm going to talk about trade a little bit. So he's providing relief to U.S. manufacturers through the tax cut, and so that's able to do a little more trade now. So for the first time in 16 years, he's working with the Trade Act, which is being used to impose tariffs. So there's a lot going on right now with LG and I think Samsung, something to do with washers and one other thing. So he's making it better interest for American companies to bring more money here, and if foreign companies like LG and I think Samsung are going to come here, he's going to put taxes on them, give more money to America. He withdrew from the Trans-Pacific Partnership. He is reforming the World Trade Organization, and he's keeping countries accountable to all of their actions. When they break the rules, there needs to be consequences. He's renegotiating NAFTA, which is the first renegotiation of a major free trade agreement in American history. And he's just bringing investment to America. Now I'm going to quickly talk about infrastructure. A third of our bridges are over 50 years old, so wear and tear shows. Red tape, so bureaucracy problems red tape is holding back infrastructure investment. So President Trump last night asked Congress for $1.5 trillion to go into infrastructure. People love that because his plan calls for local and state governments to choose where it's coming from. So people are excited about that because it's not federal laws saying, all right, Michigan, you have to do this, Florida, you have to do this. It's saying, all right, now Tampa, you can decide what you're going to do, and Traverse City, you can decide what you're going to do. So this is really addressing rural America, and a lot of Americans felt that. Immigration, we're going to quickly talk about that. He put a proposal up to have DACA recipients and DACA eligible provide a framework for citizenship, and that's going to be 1.8 million people, illegal immigrants coming that have been here since their children, brought here not in their own will, and now they're going to have a pathway towards citizenship. So that's exciting. He's calling for a $25 billion trust fund for the border wall. So no DACA, no border wall. That's what he's going after. And then he's trying to change up the whole immigration reform with family migration. So if you come in here, he's only going to allow you to bring your spouse and minor children. So not your grandma, not your brothers and sisters. If you're an adult, just your spouse and your minor children. And he's trying to push for merit-based workers, so skilled workers. We're going to quickly talk about foreign policy, and we're going to finish up on that. So he's pushing peace through strength. So he's going to try and modernize our military, and we're going to build some nuclear weapons that are unlike anything we've ever seen. Hopefully we never have to use them. I never want to see them used in my lifetime because there's going to be so much death with that. But that's going to instill fear into our enemies, like North Korea, and hopefully that is going to force them not to do anything. We've almost completely defeated ISIS. We're not going to stop until it's gone. We're just reasserting American leadership throughout the world. So all in all, I thought that President Trump's first State of the Union was a success. I thought that he delivered a great speech, and I'm excited to see what's coming soon. So thank you for watching Political Gains USA. Stay tuned.